Again? Okay. Alright guys, I'm here with Nicker. He was nice enough to do an interview with us. Thank you for that, first of all.
Welcome. Hello everyone. Привет, Россия.
Alright, I actually did prepare some questions, would you believe it? And I'm not supposed to forget about these one towards the end. But yeah, it's just gonna be a casual, normal interview. It's not like, as you can see, we're not professionals. We just do it for the fun. So just relax. It's gonna just a few questions. Yeah, sure. I mean, you can also read it if you want to, but I'm gonna stick to my questions in the beginning. So, the first question we always ask is, what's a typical day like for you? Like, yeah, like where you live. Where do you live first of all?
Last 3 years I live in Shanghai, in China.
And what's a typical day like for you? You wake up, like, do you go to university, to work? What's it like with playing Warcraft and hobbies and stuff? Like a normal day.
Well, last 2 years I wake up usually like around 7 a.m. I go to my university. Usually I have like 2 classes a day, so around 12, around afternoon I'm free to do whatever I want. Usually I just do some work, some business with Russia, but recently I was playing Warcraft really much. I wasn't losing hope to beat those human players, but as you can see the results didn't work.
I didn't know that with work with Russia. What kind of work do you do?
I'm doing everything, started from logistics to like just help people buy from China, to produce in China, do any kind of stuff. Like people visit Shanghai to take part in exhibitions, and we have a lot of stuff there.
And what do you study in Shanghai?
I study business Chinese.
Did you take Mandarin classes? Did it take a long time until you were able to speak Mandarin well, or how did you go about it?
Well, the university in China takes 4 years, but before you have to pass like Chinese courses, because everything is in Chinese. So for me, I took only half-year course, and I was studying really well. I got interested in Chinese by myself, so I think after 1 year I was already fluent on some topics in Chinese. I could write, I could type on computer a lot, but some people live there for years and they can't even speak. They just stay at home.
And like right now, how good is your Chinese? Is it as good as your English?
Well, I'm afraid my Chinese soon will be as good as my English.
That's pretty good. I mean, you got good English, obviously. So that's kind of impressive, actually. Many people say Mandarin is really, really difficult.
No, it's not difficult at all. Especially if you want to learn it, but you have to be in China, to learn.
Interesting. So, another question I asked a few others, like impressions, impressions of Warcraft 3 players. Hi, Passion. You met many of these players, I think, for the first time offline here, but you've probably known them a little longer online. Like, who is special? Who is different online than offline, and who stuck out? Who were you surprised about?
What do you mean, like Chinese players?
Chinese or European? Like, are they the same online and offline? Did someone surprise you the way that they are in person?
War Chief Rich.
I mean, yeah, we took some photos of him, and he does look like Shakespeare, and I think no one's ever seen him before.
I mean, I just seen all the players before. I met all of them before many times, so.
So it was no big surprise.
Yeah, not a big surprise.
Now, getting into a little bit of a more serious question, like, Warcraft 3 playing has been financially viable in the past, like you could make a bit of money from it. Is it possible even to make money from Warcraft 3 still, apart from winning tournament prizes?
No, never been an income for me with Warcraft. I've been player for like 12 years. I only played since the beta, Reign of Chaos. Reign of Chaos, yeah, long time. But first 3 years I was playing only on LAN. I had no internet in my city, so I had no chance to take part in competition. And then be serious, I never won anything big in my life, and so I decided to switch. You know, do something I enjoy myself.
That sounds cool. Also, something people really want to hear always. What's your best matchup and what's your worst matchup?
I think it's always been different from time to time. It used to be in the past, human was to be my best matchup against human, but now I think against night elf.
And we're gonna be talking about human a little more later on, as many people have a strong opinion about that nowadays. You've been to many events. This time there's Warcraft 3 here. Warcraft 3 is very old, however. Warcraft 3 has the lowest prize pool here. Does it seem to you like Warcraft is more of a sideshow act, like it's kind of in the shadow of everything else? Or does it seem like it's taken seriously?
You know, in China, Warcraft is still very big. It's more popular than StarCraft 2 or other games, but still, they are like trying to make some new show games or whatever. Just, I don't know. Warcraft is really like, people love Warcraft here in China, but the prize pool is usually lower than some mobile game competition. So it's
earlier today, actually, Sky was giving autographs, and the line was huge. I took some photos of it. We're going to be uploading it to Facebook later, probably. And one interesting question we got from a viewer, actually, which I thought was really good, is he wants to know, what does a pro player like yourself say? What makes the difference between a good player, like maybe, let's say, 60 or 65% on W3 Arena, or maybe even pros that are better? What makes the difference between a good player and an outstanding player? Is there one thing? What distinguishes them?
It's just an experience.
Just experience?
I think so.
Watchy, for example, said it's performing under pressure. Do you think the big stars, they're always able to play their best no matter what the conditions?
No, they don't usually play their best. Like, I see the games of the Infi, he make many mistakes, but still he wins all the time. And some players are just nervous, like my group stage, all my opponents were nervous against me.
So experience, you say, is very important.
LAN experience. Someone who's the first time on the LAN, there's no chance to win, you know.
Something I always was thinking about this final coming up. Yumiko never played in such a huge final and never won such a huge final. You think that's a big disadvantage just from the get-go, not having that grand final experience?
For Yumiko, I don't think so, but for him it's like a lot, motivation plays a lot, because he hates Ling Ling Ling, TH, and Infi. They're like foes, you know.
I know, I got that today too.
Big conflict, so they don't even shake hands, you know.
I was talking to Fanta just a few minutes ago. He kind of said the same thing. What's your plans for Warcraft 3? You're just gonna continue playing as long as you have fun, and if there's another tournament coming up, if there even is, you want to continue playing seriously, or just see where it goes? What do you plan for your Warcraft 3 career?
Well, if I have time, of course I'll take part in the competition. I still get invited, and the main point for me is like, I love the game, but every time I meet human player like TH or Infi, I just feel a little disappointed. So I still feel like I can win, but at the start of the game, it's like they already have an advantage, you know.
It's frustrating.
Yeah, that's really frustrating, because like players like Infi, no matter what map he plays, no matter who is his opponent, he just goes for fast expansion every map. I never seen him not playing fast expansion with Night Elf for years, you know, and it's frustrating, as you said.
Okay. In China, Warcraft 3, you say, is still big, but it was even bigger before. We have seen pictures from WCG where fans are just swarming around the players, and they're sometimes treated like superstars almost. It seemed like back in, I don't know, 2010 or something, or 2009. Did you, when you came to China, were there experiences where you actually felt like a superstar when fans were surrounding you? And is it still the case, or has it decreased?
It's just crazy how it goes here. I remember my first time in China was in Wuhan. Me and Sasa went outside for a minute, and I was giving an autograph for an hour straight, and some people probably didn't even know me, you know, like as a player. They just see a white guy, hey, I will take a sign, you know.
Even I gave
I see the huge, yeah. I seen Fabian today giving autographs with me. I said he's not even a player, you know, like it's funny.
All right. What do you think about the map pool, especially Death Road and Bright and Dark?
I feel hopeless on these maps because they're huge. Sometimes I play Bright and Dark or something, I don't see my opponent for 15-20 minutes, and then I see 100 supply pop up somewhere. I don't even know what he's playing, you know, like for me it's weird. I think map pool is really bad against human players. So it was the same last month. There was a tournament in Hangzhou, WEC. Map pool was the same almost.
Okay, and how do you feel about the the veto system this tournament? The veto system, like the map vetoing. How was it done in the group stage then in the playoffs?
Well, I think it was kind of fair, but it was 9 maps and BO2. It's kind of weird.
So did you just veto one map after the other, like first you veto and then?
It was A, B, A, B, B, A, and then there are 3 maps left. There's a game.
No, it's only when it's with observers. We need to join. I got an eye for it. Well, so you were happy with the veto system?
It was okay, I think. I wasn't happy with maps though.
Okay. What was your preparation like for this tournament? Did you play some kind of ladder? Did you look to play with certain players and keep on training with them for your group stage matches, for those matchups, or how did you prepare?
Well, of course I tried to prepare for my group stage because I needed to pass it. I used to practice with Undead. I tried to practice with Human, but I only get Yumiko here, so I don't practice with the other players.
So, would you like to have prepared more, but it was not possible, or were you satisfied with your preparations?
Well, I really played a lot. Not like before, because I had time. I had a lot of time these days. I used to play a lot, but it didn't help, as you see. And in China we have like 3 different ladders, and they all are bigger than War 3 Arena. So it's really easy to find an opponent here, still.
That's good for people still playing in China. And you say it didn't go that well, but you made it to playoffs, so you did get some prize money, so that's nice at least. You were aiming for more. Were you aiming for more? What was your goal? Where did you want to finish?
My goal was to win Infi.
Okay. So the placement didn't matter, just defeat Infi.
Nothing matters.
Okay, okay.
Can I say something bad about him?
Absolutely.
Yeah, Infi is a swooshtel.
I don't know what that means, but I don't think it's nice. I got it now. Okay. All right. Yeah, he did. All right. For the non-Germans, he called him in German a faggot. So, all right. How big do you think WCA is gonna be, or is in general for the Warcraft 3 scene? Will it help rejuvenating things, or will it be the last big tournament?
No, I don't think it will be the last, and I hope it will be rejuvenating things, and I hope it won't turn to another commercial event like WCG turned to be. Like, it's crazy, but right now we can see we are waiting for 1 hour for some show game with crazy bad graphics. Like, nobody's enjoying it. Like, people screaming, "Stop it, please! We don't want it!" Like, they keep playing some best of 7 game. So
we don't want to wait.
Nice.
We don't want to wait either, but we got you in the meantime, so I think that's actually pretty good. Okay. We already started this topic about humans. What do you think it is currently that makes humans so strong? I mean, there haven't been any patches for the last years, but at some point humans just seem to be the strongest. Why is that?
Human before, like, it was okay, and then, yes, you said right, there haven't been a patch for 3 years for now, more than 3 years actually, so it's a big problem. Like, in the last patch, for example, they fixed the end snare of the rider, they increased the cooldown, but after that there should be another fix, but there was nothing. So right now there's nothing we can do. and Blizzard don't give a damn about the game anymore. So it's really bad to see.
Yeah, that's unfortunately true. But I mean, something must have happened that suddenly humans are so strong. Is it just the human Chinese players that have trained so much with each other that suddenly they're kind of above the rest, or has the imbalance, if it is imbalanced, just recently been discovered?
It's not an imbalance, I think. It's just they mastered their abusive tactics. So there's like a little chance, especially it depends on the map. Depends a lot on the map. For example, I play map like Echo Isle or Amazonia. Have you seen there's 25,000 gold in expansion? So he just put an expansion and
On Echo?
on Amazonia, and that makes me go put an expansion. So that makes me play his rules, like follow his rules, like he's the leader, like. And I think that's from the start of the game that gives him a certain advantage.
She said the same thing, and I think that's definitely a valid point.
Share an opinion about that with Sketchy, with my roommate.
Yeah, your roommate, exactly. All right, moving on to the next question. Why, in the first place, did you move to China? I mean, you're studying here, obviously. Why did you leave Russia to go to China? What was the reason?
Well, I was seeking for my future life outside of my country.
Why outside of your country?
Because I don't think it's a good for to work. I don't know, to do anything there. Like you have to do something for a living, but you can't just play games all the time and just stick with it. Like.
And studying China, I mean, China obviously an upcoming market, seemed the best choice to you.
Well, it was funny for me. I came here like first time I came for 3 months. I stayed with the Tyler team. I got some salary. I got a team house or wherever, and we just used to practice a lot. And then in that time, I managed to make some friends in Shanghai, some Russian people. And then next time, I already wasn't in Tailu, and I came to take part in the competition, and I just stayed with my Russian friends. And then they were students, but I think in few months I studied Chinese on the streets better than they studied in the whole time in China. So I decided to give it a try. I won some money on G League. I decided to enter university, and then I got scholarship because I haven't missed any class in a time. So
It's determined.
I just see an opportunity in China because the relationship between our countries is getting better and better in years. You sure know about the recent conflict.
I know nothing about politics, so I'm the wrong guy to talk to about that.
No, I'm not going to talk about politics.
Let's not talk about politics. Come on, we're not being so serious here. And from what it seems like, you actually seem to be quite talented with Mandarin coming so easily to you.
Well, I just feel like I have some passion about languages. I can speak some Spanish, and I want to learn French. I want to master my Spanish after. I have big goals about languages. I think it's useful.
Yeah, obviously, and you can impress girls when you go there.
That's not the point.
That's always the point. What would you say, like for us especially and for many of our viewers, China is really foreign and unusual. What would you say the big difference or the big differences are in China compared to other countries like in Europe?
Well, I just felt like when I came to China, I felt like you can't describe China. You just have to be there to feel the difference. You feel it, right?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, but this is like the smallest city I've been to in China. The population is 1.2 million.
More than 1 million, definitely. I'm not sure quite how much, but not 2 million.
Yeah, 1.2 million, I think.
Okay. We had that already. That also. You did get invited directly here, like many other players did. Why do you think that is? And how does it make you feel? Does it make you proud? Like, do you think you're still a top player around the world? Like, why you think you got invited? And yeah, how does it make you feel?
It's a hard question. I don't know. They invite me all the time because I'm a foreigner. I'm in Shanghai. I speak Chinese. I can do translation for them. Sometimes, so it's just useful, like they just invite me. Fans like me, and It's Warcraft. People support it.
And you like coming to these events?
Yeah, of course I do.
And you think you can still battle it out with the best of them, or do you think there's a bit of a skill gap between you and the best?
I don't feel any skill gap between Infi and me. Still, I can win sometimes, depends on the map, on the luck. Like,
as always, obviously. Alright, we had that also.
I don't have Chinese girlfriend and I don't want to.
Why not?
I hate them.
Do they hate you?
No, they like me.
Why do you hate them?
No, I feel they're kind of like soulless. Like they're empty.
Like shallow, like superficial?
They are superficial, exactly. They're empty inside.
Well, that doesn't sound too interesting. All right, I don't know much about Chinese girls, so well, that's your opinion, and that's what we want to interview you for. The hype in Warcraft 3, you say it's still big in China, but I mean you have to admit it has decreased. I can only imagine. I don't know, but it did decrease over time, didn't it?
Obviously, it does decrease.
Are there new players still coming in? Because many people say you need the fresh blood coming in to keep a scene alive. Are there still new kids, for example, discovering Warcraft and starting to play? Or are they all Dota today and, I don't know, Dota Legends and all that stuff?
Yeah, in China, obviously, Dota is more popular. And there's LOL, there's a bunch of other Chinese games. But new blood is coming, as you said, but it's in China, not in Europe, not in other countries.
The scene is kind of enclosed here. It's a little bit different. All right, we're almost at the end of the interview, and we have a special question towards the end always. And your answer was actually pretty damn good, but you gave it already, because our last segment of the interview, which we totally rip off from Team Liquid, is shoutouts and callouts. And you did your call out already against Infi. You did say something not so nice.
Say something not so nice about me, so.
Well, it's deserved then. It's very deserved. First of all, you can give your shoutouts. You wanna shout anyone out? Give, like greet them or something?
No one particular, I think.
You gotta say someone. Say your mom or your fans, anything.
Of course, I miss my mom here in China, but she obviously doesn't watch this, and she doesn't speak English at all, so there is no chance.
Right. So that's the first, no shoutouts. Normally we get no callouts. All right, you already called Infi out.
Yeah.
If you have something on your chest to call someone else out, here is your chance if you want to do so. You don't have to.
Well, I hope in the at least next year or two we still keep playing Warcraft, and maybe if Blizzard doesn't want to change the game, maybe we can do some change. Maybe we can bring some new maps without extra gold mines, or for example, as I discussed with Sketchy, like if we put 5,000 gold in the gold mine, if he can go fast expansion, I won't even go, I would just push him in tier 3, So we need some change like this, but still in the event like this, in a huge events like this, they bring big maps. We can't win humans, like even orc, even undead. It's just hopeless. I don't know, probably it's just they love human players, but in China it feels like many people disrespect Infi.
Well, thanks for your time, for taking this interview. I think it was pretty damn good, interesting answers. Also just, coming from you, not even after my questions. So, yeah, thank you very much, Nicker, for the interview. Gladly. And I guess you're going to be watching the game in a minute on stage, and you're going to be cheering for Yumi like crazy.
Of course.
Obviously. All right, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Oh, I got to ask one more question. What do you think about olive oil?
It's okay. I like olive oil. There's nothing wrong with it. Why? The question is so weird.
Yeah, it's a stupid question. It's just something about chat I had to ask. It's for all the guys watching on YouTube. If it's not cut out, I'm sorry for asking that stupid question. Anyways, this was Remo from Back to Warcraft doing an interview with Nicker, cool guy. Stay tuned to Back to Warcraft for more Warcraft 3 content, and that's it. See you guys.